Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. Welcome to the start of another week. Here in our money family, we have dubbed Mondays Money Day. So happy Money Day to all of you in the money family. As you guys are joining, I'm going to jump over here so I can check the comments. I love when you come in and we greet each other. We just give love, start the week off in each other's presence. And, it's just really nice to know that we have this sacred space where every Monday morning we converge. We have these inspirational conversations. That's my intention anyway. We have these inspirational conversations so that, we can just kickstart our week, or it can leave us thinking. My goal, my intention, my heart's desire always is to leave you in a better place at the end of this conversation than before you started, before we jumped on. And we're here every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, which for some people is 5 a.m. For others, it's the middle of the night. And I am so grateful, whatever time it is for you, whether you watch live or you watch the replay, that you show up every Monday morning for these conversations. So mwah, my love to you. Happy Monday. Yay, happy Money Day. Ooh, look at all of our friends. And I know there's some of you that watch on YouTube, and I never, give enough love to those who choose to watch on YouTube. So to the YouTubers, here we go. Lots of love for you all this morning. All right, so I'm going to jump right into our conversation. I see friends, and I get distracted wanting to say hi to everyone. I am really looking forward to this conversation this morning. We're talking about inspired action versus desired action. And I would just love to do a quick poll. Those of you that are here right now, how many of you have ever had the full on awareness that I am working way too hard? Like, can you put that in the comments? Let me know. Like, you just have a moment where you're like, I get that I have to take action, but I'm working way too hard. And what is this easy and relaxed that Tasha's talking about? Like, I don't get it. I want to know more. So come on, here we go. Yes. I'm working way too hard. There we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that I'm amongst my people. That lets me know that this is one of those good conversations that we need to have. And it was inspired by a young lady who sent me a message last week that said, I have a question about inspired action. When you feel you've gotten some kind of direction, or you have the next step, how do you discern if it's inspired action or just desired action? I was like eating it up. I was about to write an entire book in response. And so I did respond, which I'll share with you guys in a little bit. But I also knew in my spirit, this was something that I kind of have a list of different things that I want to talk about on Mondays or Thursdays on Clubhouse. And I decided, okay, I guess that's just the universe saying, cue that one to the front of the line. Time to talk about it. So we know that in manifesting, we must take action, right? Literally, I want every single one of you, because sometimes it can get confusing when we talk about easy and relaxed, that some people might perceive that to be that there's no action involved. It literally is just chilling and, like eating bonbons. And that is not true. And I don't ever want to leave you with the thought or the idea that as we're on this manifesting journey, using this superpower to create anything that we want, that there is no part in that process for action. So every single person, I want you to start off by typing so I know you got it. No action equals no results. Or no, here's a better way to put it. No action equals no attraction. No action equals no attraction. The attraction process, the law of attraction, which is what we're doing when we practice the process of manifesting. And to manifest means to bring into physical existence something that we have in as a desire within ourselves, in our hearts, in our minds, in our consciousness, something that we want to have, be, do, or experience in the physical. It doesn't exist right now, We don't have it right now. And so we're looking to manifest or to attract it into physical reality. And if there's no action, there is no attraction. So we could do all the perfect things, all the journaling, all the visualizing, all the intending. We can woosa, we can do it, we can do it all. But if there's no action, there will be no attraction, period. End of story. But this conversation is to dive a little bit deeper into the piece about action. As a recovering workaholic, when I first read The Science of Getting Rich, and I understood this concept that I needed to take action, I was like, oh, of course I know that. I'm great at working hard. I know I have to work hard to create success. And I thought about showing you all the different, I mean, I must have, you can imagine how many of these books I have in my household. I have a ton of them because I'm always reading it. Every time we start a new group, I go through it too. And I was so committed to understanding this thing about action. If I am meant to take action, I want to understand how I can make those acts efficient. And when I say easy and relaxed, this is what I want to share with you, is that I came to understand there's a difference between inspired action and desired action, right? So I see that you all, everybody's on board with me. You all get it. No action equals no attraction. So when I talk about easy and relaxed action, I'm talking about the type of action where I'm inspired, where you feel inspired to do something, where it's like you're just sitting minding your own business and you just get dropped in your spirit, in your mind, you become aware, do this thing. I like to say it's being informed by your higher self, by God, by you, the universe, by source creator, however you language that. It literally is, you have expressed a desire for something, and then you're going on about your business, and some spiritual practitioners call it, you get a hit, right? It's like you get a nudge, like a little tap on the shoulder, do this. And you're like, what? Who said that? Where did that come from? And then you take that action. It's like it came from out of nowhere, right? You're inspired. When you are taking easy and relaxed action, you're in flow. You literally could physically do the thing to be done for hours, and it would never feel like work. That's when the action is inspired. Desired action is really hustle and grind. It is, that's the hard work. That is when you're working too much. And that kind of action is ego based. It is derived from the part of your brain that has latched onto this paradigm that says the only way I'm going to create success is if I do these things. It's your ego that has this limited ability to believe that you can do less and achieve more. This ego part of you that has the limitation that says, no, you're going to have to do a lot if you want to create this massive result in your life. And so it comes to you as you're feeling like, oh, this is desired action. Like, I have the desire to do this. I know I want this result. And so I go through this process where this desire within me is saying, I have to do all these things. So the hard work, the easy and relaxed versus hard work, hustle and grind, this is where things like our addiction, and it really is an addiction to working hard. You start feeling like I should be doing these things, to be responsible. And I am literally, when I tell you this conversation is my journey, it is so my journey. I am literally, and even still today, having to watch myself navigate. Oh, I'm back over here in my ego place where I'm working from the addiction to working hard. It's like I'm just making myself busy for the sake of making myself busy, because the limitation of my ego says I have to be doing all these things. And I'm being authentic and honest with you and saying, when I catch myself Doing that, I literally have practiced to let myself stop, to just stop. So if you were to walk in my house, there's a difference between, oh wow, look at Tasha. She's been like at it. She's got papers everywhere. She's got all of her books. Like that's my library over there. Papers all over my office on the floor, books everywhere. And I'm just in like downloads. And I will sit there and I'll be creating for hours on end, and I'm just in flow, and I literally don't want to leave. I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. I want to grab a cup of coffee and come right back. I want to grab my journal. I just want to keep going. That's inspired action. Desired action is, okay, so as a business, we've decided that we want to get these results. And so now let me sit here and I have to do these things. So, I have to write these emails. I have to do all this. And the moment I get into the I have to or I should, I literally, like yesterday, this happened to me actually. Like, so funny. I'm going to talk about this and I'm experiencing it. I got into that I have to, and literally it just felt so depressing and draining and sad. And I sat here and I go, okay, no, there will be no creating, there'll be no action taken while I'm in this energy. And Diane, a lot of you know, Diane will say, one of the things that I learned from her was she was like, no, I'm going to wait till I'm inspired before I take action. And what was intriguing to me about the difference between Diane and I when we first met was that she would get so much more done in a shorter period of time because she waited until she felt good, until she was in flow, until she got the nudge to go do the thing, than me just being busy for the sake of being busy and thinking, oh, this is desired action. This is me, my logical brain saying I have to do this. So I'm going to break it down even further for you. Love when I have the downloads, Heather says. So inspired action is something that you feel led to do. And let me explain to you when you get inspired. It's going to many times be so simple that you're going to overlook it as an action that you need to take. It may also be illogical, like go take a nap. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm trying to manifest multiple six figures here. What do you mean by go take a nap? That doesn't make sense. And so you overlook it because of its simplicity, right? When I say simple, it might be you're working so hard on trying to create a financial result, and then you're trying to think of all the logical steps to take. Let me build my funnel, let me do this, let me do all these things, and then it's like, actually just call this person. And you're like, call Jane is like my like personal trainer. What does calling my personal trainer have to do with making multiple six figures? And so you're like, I'll do that. Yeah, I do need to talk to Jane, but I'll call her next week. And you like totally overlook it. I cannot tell you, probably one of the secrets to my success is that I honor my inspired actions. I honor my inspirations and I act on them. I have learned to not question it, to just go with it. Because sometimes, let's say I call Jane, have the whole conversation, I hang up and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see how that connected to anything. Right? That's happened to me. I'm like, I don't see how that connected to anything. And as I'm sitting there, sometimes even trying to figure it out, I'll realize that there was something that got said in that conversation that sends me on a different path. Like sometimes, for example, this actually happened. I called the person that seems so random. We're having a friendly conversation and they mentioned something about somebody they follow. Right. And I was like, oh, wow. So whatever in the conversation brings me to go look up this person that they follow. I'm in awe. I learned so much watching this person. I get so many ideas, so much content for this multiple six-figure thing I'm looking to create. I'm like, oh, here's the model. But if I hadn't called Jane, my personal trainer, and my personal trainer's name is Lori, but if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gotten access to the information that I needed. So inspired action is simple. It's sometimes going to be illogical. And here's the biggest thing about inspired action. It is going to sometimes scare you. It is going to take you out of your comfort zone. Things like, it's time to start that business. It's time to quit your job. It's time to write that book. It's time to create that product. It's going to scare you, but it's your higher self that knows best, that knows this is the path to the result that you want. And so you have to masterfully listen and take action, right? So that's what this inspired action is all about. It's where you feel led to do something. And remember, just these are kind of like how you know it's inspired action. It's simple, it's illogical, and it's probably sometimes going to scare you. Okay, now let's look at desired action. This is where you think you have to do something, you think you should be doing something. It's usually very logical in nature. Like your logical brain goes, I want to make multiple six figures, so let me write a business plan, let me map out all the steps in the funnel, let me figure out all the things I need to do, all the products I need to design. It keeps you in your comfort zone, and there's little room for creativity. It's basically your smaller self that's creating that kind of action. Inspired action is your higher self. um, I used to, when I first got my very first job, I worked with a lot of young Jewish men, young Jewish males. And I remember being just in awe listening to them talk, because one of the things that I realized in their culture is that they have this practice of just passing down to the generations. This is what you should do. Do this, don't do that, right? Go take this step for your career, don't take that. I mean, it literally is, I don't know, like I wasn't very great friends with them so much, but I'm just saying, just by observation, just by being around them, I picked up that this was something about their way of life. And I was like, man, I literally said, I want to come back as a Jewish male because life looks so much easier. And I realized doing this work that literally we all have access to that kind of guidance. We all have our own higher self that is telling us, do this, don't do that, go there. But you know what? We don't listen. We don't listen. We we toss it away as it can't be that simple. That action doesn't make sense. I'm trying to do this big thing and that thing is too easy, too simple. And yet the thing that you crave the most is easy and relaxed. Well, easy and relaxed and inspired comes from your higher self. Desired action, hard work, and hustle comes from your smaller self, your ego, that part of you that just wants you to stay in your comfort zone and doing the things that your logical brain knows how to do. But if you want to manifest and you want to attract, you have to step out of that realm of the logical. Easy and relaxed is not a part of the logical. That's why you some people will struggle with it because it doesn't make sense logically. But we're not trying to make it make sense. That's the point, right? So here we go. I want you guys to really tap into, and I'm going to read to you my response to this young lady, but I want you guys to tap into, how do you get inspired? If you're Tasha, if you're saying that easy and relaxed is via me being inspired before I take action, how do I become inspired? That's been I would say my life's work, is to figure out and to understand, how do I do it, right? So I'm going to read first, I'm going to read my response to this young lady, and I'm going to read from The Science of Getting Rich. So her question, remember, was, how do you discern if it is inspired action or just desired action? And I said, how it comes to you, how the information to take an action comes to you, and how it makes you feel. Inspired action is not, this is a thing I have to do or I should do. It's inspired action is not that. That's your logical brain. Inspired action literally comes from out of nowhere and it just drops into your spirit. It also usually makes you feel really excited to do it. right? So the distinction is it's not a have to or should do. It seemingly just comes from out of nowhere and it makes you feel really excited. You could do it for hours. It just makes you feel so good. So now I want to read a little thing from the Science of Getting Rich. It says, this is the crucial point in the Science of Getting Rich, where thought and personal action must be combined. There are very many people who consciously or unconsciously set the creative forces in action by the strength and persistence of their desires, but who remain poor because they do not provide for the reception of the thing they want when it comes. By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it. Last week in our group, there was a woman who shared that, she was really struggling with this. And what I saw was she was frustrated because she had been working so hard, doing so much, doing a lot of efforting and hustling and grinding and doing to manifest a specific result. Manifesting does not need hustling. Probably you should type that. If you see yourself hustling, if you see yourself working hard, you are literally, it's you creating. You don't need manifesting. You don't need it. It's you trying to do all these things to create. The moment you see you've gone into hard work, which is what I've taught myself, the moment that I see that I'm in hustling and grinding and working hard, I'm like, okay, Tasha, well, if you know how to do it, why do you need manifesting, right? So manifesting does not include hustling. It doesn't. You don't need to hustle when you're manifesting. There we go. Manifesting is not hustling. So what I said to her was, when you are doing that, just think about this. It's like you have this container and you're trying to manifest a result in the container, right? You're trying for the result that you want to come in, and let's just say your cup, to come in and fill your cup, to come from your attraction, all your spiritual work, and you're looking for it to just come in to your physical existence. Well, when you are hustling, what you're doing is you're busy putting rocks in this cup. You're busy going all around and just taking rocks and filling it up, and there is no room for manifesting. There's no room for the universe, God, creator, source to do its easy and relaxed magic for you. There's no room because you're too busy. You're like this, right? You're busy hustling, grinding, like fighting it out there, and there's no room for you to receive the magic of easy and relaxed, and or even inspiration. And how you get inspired is you have to create space to receive the knowledge, to receive the information. Do this. Whenever you find yourself working hard, just remember you haven't given yourself the opportunity to receive the downloads, to receive the inspiration that makes easy and relaxed possible. So, because I know I love easy and relaxed, because I know I love inspired action, I create a life that gives me a lot of opportunity to receive the inspiration. I wake up in the morning and I just lay in bed. I say my affirmations and my intentions, and I just lay for a minute to receive. I schedule a life that has a lot of travel, that has a lot of time to go walk in nature, or go exercise, do the things that allow me to create space to receive downloads. And a lot of people are really busy working hard, and when you are so busy working hard, there is no space for you to get those little nudges, those little inspiration of, this is the thing you need to do to get it to happen for you easy and relaxed, right? So the moment you see yourself in working hard and you're thinking, this is desired action, I should be doing this, I must be doing this is the logical mind telling me, that's the limitation of the ego that has you convinced that the only way to create a result is to stay in the hard work paradigm. So here's how I've told you, step number one, create space to receive inspiration. But in those of us that are in the money family, we live by what we call the certain way, the principles of the science of getting rich. And so what I do, what I'm always doing every day, is I'm in the manifesting process. And what does that mean? Every single day I journal, and I intend. Sometimes I don't journal every single day, but every single day I set an intention or I make affirmations about things that I want to experience or manifest or receive into my life every day, right? You visualize, you take time to close your eyes and just see the things that you want as done. When you are doing the spiritual practices, that is the only way that you create space in your consciousness to receive the information about how to act. When you can just see when you're too busy, you get up, you have your cup of coffee, you run out the door, you work, you come home, you like whatever you do at night, there's no space where you're going to get any downloads, any hits, any inspiration. There's no space in your life for it. So probably the number one way, if you want to start really experiencing easy and relax, is to create space in your life, to to indulge in your spiritual practices. That allows you meditate, create some quiet time, grab your journal. One of the things that I do is when I'm not sure what action to take, I will write a question on a blank sheet of paper and just leave it by my bedside. In other words, I'm like, I'm giving the universe, God, creator, source, the opportunity to just bring me the information about what I need to do. I just literally leave the sheet blank with the question. And sure enough, the universe cannot leave empty spaces. Everything must be filled. So in the time that I usually request, within 24 hours, I get the answer. Create space to receive. Okay, so here we go. Many people are inspired but are not taking action. Is that you? Many people, the problem is not that you're not inspired, even though I just shared with you how to get inspiration so you can act, which leads to easy and relaxed action. Many of you, the problem is not that you're Tasha, I'm not being inspired. For many people, it's that you are being inspired, but you're not taking action. Why? Because of fear. Remember, I said one of the things about inspired action is that it might be scary for you. It might feel scary. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. But I'm telling you, the choice is to do the scary thing do the thing that you're inspired to do, but it feels scary. And it's going to make it save you 10 years, going to make it easier for you, going to make the results come faster. Or you can stay over here in your desired action, your ego action, your hard work and hustle. And it's going to cost you time. It's going to take a lot of efforting, and you're going to be way down the road wondering, how are some people doing this and succeeding with so much more ease? Well, because they had the courage to overcome their fear and to take the scary action. Right? So I'm asking you all to look at yourselves. If there is something that you know that you're being inspired but you're not taking the action, the Science of Getting Rich says, put your whole mind into present action. You must act now. If you're being inspired, the magic of inspired action is that when you take it, things start happening with momentum. When you're in desired action, when you're in that hard work, it takes forever. It drains you. It feels exhausting. That's desired and hard work action, right? So if you're being inspired, take action. It's easier to keep doing desired action from your old paradigm of success. I'm not going to lie to you. It's easier to do it because you don't have to, because you know how to do it. We are all masterful at working hard. We all have a PhD in working hard, and it's actually easier to keep working hard, to keep stuck in that paradigm of this is the way you create success versus I got inspired and I'm going to take action. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to keep taking the actions that I am inspired to take. I'm going to be courageous enough to stop the busy work, literally to just stop. Just pause and stop being so busy and give myself the space to hear this is the next action to take and to just keep taking the next inspired action. So this morning before we go, I want to challenge every single one watching live or watching the replay. What is it that you're inspired to do? Type. Yep, I'm holding you accountable. What is the thing that you have been inspired to do that you have not been doing? Go ahead and type it in the comment and literally put it out there. Hold yourself accountable to just doing it. To just doing it. But the minute you write it, the minute you type it, and don't hide, I can see the number of you watching. So I expect I love it. Have more fun, buy a condo, sit and take the space, photography, look at all of these things. And I love that, right? Jenny says, have more fun. That's what I've been inspired to do. Now, your ego self is going, what do you mean? You want to build a business, you want to do all these things. How can have more fun lead to that? And it makes no sense. And yet I can tell you, when I travel, when I go on vacation, when I give myself that space and I'm just being, oh my God, watch out. I get so many downloads. I am crystal clear on what we need to do. I get content for what I need to talk about. Like literally, it's me and God because I'm just being. And that might not make sense to people who believe you have to work hard to create success. But I would much rather do that kind of work than the hustle and grinding. So I look at all of you. Oh my gosh. And I see so many longtime friends on here this morning. Tanisha, write a book. I'm holding you accountable. So the reason I want you to type this is the fact that every one of you that typed, somebody else saw that you put this out there. You get to hold yourself accountable. And I'm holding space for every single thing that is typed. I'm holding you all accountable. So here's the thing. What is the smallest action you can take today? You want to book a trip? Look up the destination. You want to write a book? What are the 5 chapters of the book? Literally just write them down on a sheet of paper. You want to let's see some of the other things that I have. Make videos. Take out your phone right now when we hang up and just say something into your phone as a video. Whatever, what is the smallest action that you can take? Because that tiny little action, it's like the domino effect, right? The one tiny imperfect action. Here's the other thing. Inspired action never needs to be perfect. Desired action, that thing where you feel like you need to perfect everything, that is your ego. That's your ego. Inspired action is imperfect. Yeah, you have permission to do it imperfectly and know that it's all going to be okay. So grab your phone and record a quick video. Just do it. Okay, so last thing, I love that. Thank you, Lisa, for that. So last thing, hashtag just do it. Hashtag just do it before we go. I love that. Hashtag just do it. And if you love being here every Monday morning and you just want, to find an easy way to get on right before I go live, type the word reminder in the comments. Let's see if I have it up here somewhere. Sure, you all know how to spell the word reminder, but type the word reminder in the comments and you will get in your Facebook Messenger a message from me that allows you to just click it and it says, yeah, remind me next week when Tasha goes live. All right, so type the word reminder in the comments, check your Facebook Messenger. You'll get a message from me that you have to just click a little thing that says, yes, I want to be reminded, and we will do everything else to remind you next Monday morning before we go live. All right. Oh, by the way, 2 Mondays from now, not next Monday, but the one after that, I think it's May 30th, I'm going to be live from Jamaica at the beach with some of our elites. I cannot wait. So I'm inviting all of you to be here that Monday morning with me. Literally just pretend you're in Jamaica with me. All right. Mwah. I'll see you all then. Have a great Monday. Bye.